Tuesday morning, everybody. Meteorologist Johnny Lively here for our Tuesday morning show. Here we are with the coldest temperatures of the week because we're going to start the warming trend later today. But Chester wins the award for being the coldest this morning. We've got upper 20s up there towards the north, but Chester currently at 26 degrees. And then the further south that you go, you can find 30s all along the I-10 corridor. Warmest place this morning is down there towards the coast, over there towards Galveston at 44. And this is thanks to Neutron Electrical Services for our current temperatures. Look at the difference the last 24 hours. We were pretty chilly yesterday, but we even got colder, 15 to 18 degrees colder than Monday morning. This is thanks to our sponsor of Do Good Credit Union. This is going to be interesting to see the next couple of days because instead of it being blue, it's going to start changing more to the yellow and orange because we are going to see that warming trend really starting to begin. The last 6 hours of satellite and radar sponsored by Switch Electric, we can see that high pressure is moving into the region. That's one of the big reasons we're also being very chilly this morning. That high pressure is going to continue moving off to the east, and then everything kind of changes. You can see we've got some partly cloudy skies towards the coast, but other than that, it is awfully calm across the region. And it's going to be like that the next 5 to 7 days. And this brings us to our outdoor and construction forecast for today. Modern concrete materials definitely is happy because not only is today a pretty day, but the next 5 to 7 days looks really good. We've been dealing with some breezy conditions the last couple of days. Not an issue today. Winds are light. We start out into the 30s this morning, and then we really top off, really getting into the low 60s with plenty of sunshine, not only to the day today, but the next couple of days. So thanks again to our sponsor of Modern Concrete showing us that outdoor forecast. We are chilly right now, high pressure over our region. We kind of continue what we see the rest of the day. Everything moves off to the east when we start talking about the cold. That moves off, and then here comes the warm. Look out towards the west. That is a big high pressure ridge that's building over there towards parts of California, and this is going to extend and continue to get bigger. In other words, what this does for us, look how big towards that. Towards Thursday. This is something you see in June and July in the summertime. Large ridge, so very warm temperatures over there. Could get record breaking for those areas over there, but we're going to warm up big time once we get into Wednesday, especially by the end of the week and into the weekend. We get excited because it looks like another cold front's on the way by the time we get into Friday, but not going to really change our temperatures too much. Might help kick out the humidity just a little bit, but temperatures still going to get into the mid 80s this weekend. And then we continue to be in the 80s for much of the weekend and into early to middle of next week. So the next 5 to 7 days, we are definitely warming up. In fact, this is going to be our coolest day of the week, and then not too bad on Wednesday, getting into the low to mid 70s, and then we continue to keep warming up, getting into the 80s by the end of the week, continuing through the weekend. We might drop a little bit with that cold front that moves in on Friday, but again, it's just a temperature, a degree or two. Humidity might get kicked out, but other than that, we are in the 80s for the next 5 to 7, 10 days possibly. And you can actually see this if we extend it. Here we are from parts of next week. You can see March 23rd to the 27th. So this is pretty much majority of next week. There's a high pressure ridge out there towards the west, but even here locally, we should stay above average in the temperature department. And also, this is going to keep us on the dry side the next 5 to 7 days. So not the best news for the drought that we have. You can see the winds are out of the north, so we're still kind of cool and chilly, right? But watch how everything starts changing by the time we get later this morning, starting to come more out of the east. And then by this afternoon, sneaking into the evening time, here we are. Winds are back out of the south. So we are already starting to see that warming trend later that afternoon as we start getting into the 60s. And then those winds out of the south continue throughout the night on Tuesday, getting into Wednesday. As we get the southern flow back, by the time we get into middle to the end of the week, we could start seeing fog being introduced back into the region as well too. So we'll keep an eye on that. And fog typically is really into the overnight hours, into the early morning hours. So you can see the biggest thing that we're seeing is just the flow is changing out of the south. Not much in the rainfall department. We are dry the next 5 to 7 days. Here we are with the temperatures later on this afternoon. A little bit more chillier towards Louisiana into the upper 50s, but the rest of the region, we are mainly into the low 60s. Thanks for a sponsor over there at Silsby Ford. Get you one. Overnight tonight, still chilly, but we're slightly warmer than we were this morning. But you can still find some areas into the upper 30s far to the north, but the rest of the region mainly into the 40s, low to mid 40s down towards the coast into the 50s. Here's our 7-day forecast for southeast Texas. Not too bad the next couple of days, and really not too bad the next 5 to 7 days. By the end of the week and into the weekend, we are mostly into the low to mid 80s. Some areas could get into the upper 80s. Might have the humidity kind of go down a little bit this weekend, but other than that, we are mostly into the 80s. This is just above what we see this time of year. Our typical high is into the low to mid 70s. Same thing for Southwest Louisiana. One thing that we're really excited about is the winds aren't too big of an issue. And here we are the next 5 to 7 days, pretty dry. And then we start warming up by tomorrow. And then we really get into the 80s by the end of the week and into the weekend. We really want to say thank you so much we had 42,000 people who tuned in to our Sunday evening show, so we can't thank y'all enough for all of the support, but this is also a good time to go download the free Gulf Coast Weather Solutions app. It will keep you updated no matter where you guys are. You guys have a good Tuesday morning. Stay warm, but the good news is it warms up pretty quickly this afternoon. Have a good Tuesday. I will see y'all again on Wednesday morning.
Gulf Coast Weather Solutions is sponsored by.
At Gulf Coast Weather Solutions, we focus on delivering reliable weather forecasts. Our new app provides reliable weather updates and alerts no matter where you are. With real-time weather alerts and warnings, you can stay informed and prepared wherever you go. Download the Gulf Coast Weather Solutions app today on the App Store and Google Play, and stay connected no matter where you are.